Okay, hi, this is Vincent Hammer again from Exocad. I wanted to do another parameter example that's more advanced than the previous one that I did changing your wax color. Let's let's look at a different scenario here. So first, as you recall in your installation folder, partial CAD app config, this is where you can find a whole bunch of parameters, but these are most of them have to do with UI. There's also some of them that have to do with the build. In fact, the one that I'm going to show you is also in here, I think. But let me just show you another way to go about that. So let's say you wanted to change this tolerance value, and you want to set that to be 1 micron in all of your files going forward. That happens to be an example. Most of them don't work this way. It happens to be an example of something that might be a little bit annoying. So this tolerance level is, if you're in here in the DB, it is in every single one of these. The tolerance is set here. Now, if you don't, but it's defaulting to 20 microns. And if you wanted to change that to be a different value, these are non-defaults. But by default, it's 20 microns, I believe, yes. So you could remember to change it every time. Or there's a lot of different ways to go about this. You could also change the default value of the DB material, which is also pretty advanced. But I'm just going to show you how to do it in partial CAD. So first thing that I'm going to show you is how do we find what the name of this parameter is. So all I have to actually do is save it. And I'm going to hop back into the DB and let's see here. Yep, open an Explorer. And here is the param diffs. And in here, it will only show you the parameters that are different from the default. There are a bunch in here that have to do with the colors and everything. But if you look, you can find here this tolerance. So this is the actual name of the parameter that the software uses. And you could have also searched for this 1 micron setting. Okay, so this is the name of the parameter. Now, I could have, in this particular case, I could have also found it in my config folder, probably in here. It also exists. Yeah, so you could have found it this way too. But in general, it's probably quicker if it's a UI-based parameter to just change it in the UI so it's not default, save it, and then look at your param diffs. And you have a limited set of things to look at. Okay, so now this is not as easy as the previous example, because if I were to go in here and go to my settings, and I would set it to something here, let's set it to 2 microns. That's not actually going to work, and the reason for that is this custom user prefs file is read in before the scene file or the database file, project file is read in. So whatever value I put in here will be overwritten by what is set up in the scene. So there is a way around that. Let's go through the Explorer. So we'll do the user profile thing again. Profile, and then we'll go to partial CAD here. Okay, and so here's the custom user prefs any file. Let's just save this guy. It doesn't matter that it's in there. What we're going to do is we're going to make a copy of this. There's one other one of these secret file names, and it's called custom global prefs. Now this is probably not something you should do on your own. It's really in here for people who do a lot of testing. For that, it's really handy. So what this does, this custom global prefs file is read in after the scene is loaded. So it will override, the values in here will override any values that exist anywhere and will show up in the software no matter what. So that means, pre-existing saved scenes, something you set up fresh in the database, or basically anything. And as you can see, if you're doing a lot of testing and you want to change just one value, and it's very handy for that. And it may be in this particular case, if you've decided that you want your lab to run at a tolerance of 2 microns for the triangle reduction, if you set it here, you never have to worry about it. It will always be that. Okay, so let's see if that actually worked. So all we have to do is reload the scene. You don't have to actually go out of it. And it should come up as 2 microns. And so, okay, so the trick is using this custom global prefs ini file. And yes, be very careful with it. Only put stuff in there if you're really certain that you want a particular value to always be the same. And this tolerance thing is probably one of the few that, that would qualify for that. All right, thank you very much.